Good morning or afternoon, it may be evening, wherever you are around the world. We just want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another great video of the NHL Player Flashback series. Of course, we are a Sunday, and the Sunday is all about the NHL Player for the Montreal Canadiens Flashback. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook page. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the likes and finally leave your comments about Mats Naslund video. Tell us what you remember about Naslund with the Montreal Canadiens wearing the number 26. So before we start, we want also to remind you, we are live every night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, in the morning, 11 o'clock also Eastern Time. We talk about everything around the NHL, so don't forget to participate and join us during the show of the Hockey Nation Live Show. So Mats Naslund guy became the first European players play for the Montreal Canadiens under history. No one played with Montreal before Naslund joined the team in 1982-1983. That's why his first season with the Montreal Canadiens. And then at that day, Mario Tremblay find a way where gave him a nickname called the Le Petit Viking. Tremblay mentioned about Naslund because he was honestly only 5'7" and barely 160 pounds. Just give you an idea who he was, Naslund. He had to fight and stay in this league against giant players. You know, remember those years, there was a 6'3", 6'4" players at the time that Naslund played in NHL. So let's dive in and talking about his career in NHL, what he accomplished with the Montreal Canadiens. The first thing I want to mention to you guys is he was a second-round pick, the 37 overall in 1979 by the Montreal Canadiens. Like I mentioned, he was a left wing, shoot on the left side, and barely 160 pounds. So give you an idea. His first season in NHL, he's already shown what type of player he was, to be honest with you, with 71 points, guys, with 26 goals, 45 assists in 74 games. He played only 3 games that year in the playoff with 1 goal and 1 point. 1983 and 1984, during his second year in NHL, he still continues performing and add more goals during that year with 29 goals and 64 points in 77 games. But during the playoff, he had 14 points in 15 games with 6 goals and 8 assists. The next year, the third year in NHL, 1984-1985, he played 80 games, again, almost a 1 point per game with 79 points, with 42 goals, 37 assists. First time he got 40 goals plus in NHL. He played 12 games in the playoff with 11 points, with, of course, 7 goals. You can see year after year is getting better. Then in 1985-1986, guy, 100 points, 43 goals, 67 assists, and 80 games. This best season in the NHL, to be honest with you. He played 20 games on the playoff with 19 points. He have 8 goals, 11 assists, and also he won the Stanley Cup with the Montreal Canadiens. Is the only one he did with the Montreal. But look, he was the reason why Montreal won the Stanley Cup. Naslund, with his performance night after night during the playoff. In 1986-1987, he played 79 games. He has 80 points with 25 goals, 55 assists during the playoff, 17 games. But again, 22 points. Look, the playoff is a hard time. It's during those years in 1980s was not easy. Was all the fight, if it was really physical. But again, Naslund showed what kind of player it was, whatever it was, the size in front of him. 1987, 1988 with the Montreal Canadiens, he has 83 points and 78 games with 59 assists. He played 6 games only with 7 points, with all 7 assists. 1988 and 1989, he's had again 84 points in 77 games, 33 goals again. And in the playoff, Montreal lost. Remember that year they lost in the final cup against the Calgary Flames. He has 15 points and 21 games, 4 goals, 11 assists. 1989 and 1990. There was his last season with the Montreal Canadiens, and that year you can see a base of the regime with 41 points and 72 games, 21 goals, 20 assists, and 3 games. He played only in the playoff with 2 points. That year, guy, he decided to return in Europe for many reasons. The most reason, he said the season was too long to play hockey. That's why he decided to come back over there and play a couple of years. But suddenly, almost like 4 years later, almost 5 to be honest with you, he decided to come back in the NHL, and he was like a UFA. He signed a contract with the Boston Bruins, but unfortunately, he played only 1 season with them, and he did not play a full year. He played only with the Boston Bruins in 1994 and 1995. He played only 34 games, but again, he still have 22 points, 8 goals, 14 assists, and during that playoff, in 5 games, he have only 1 goal. It was not the same Naslund we saw with the Montreal Canadiens, but again, still performing a little bit better. With the Montreal Canadiens, guys, in 8 years, he has 617 games, 243 goals, 369 assists for 612 points. During the playoff, 91 points and 97 games with 34 goals, 57 assists. The only season, of course, he played with the Boston guy. He had 34 games with 22 points. In the playoff, he have only 1 point in 5 games. And finally, his full time in NHL in 9 seasons, he did over 651 games with 634 points. Guys, this is almost 1 point per game, 251 goals, 383 assists. And during the playoff, he has 102 games with 92 points, 35 goals, 57 assists. That's complete all the stat with Mats Naslund in NHL. 9 years, to be honest with you. 8 with the Montreal Canadiens. 1 one-time winner of the Stanley Cup in 1985 and 1986. Let's talk a little bit more what he did before he played in NHL. And let's dive in right here. First, like I mentioned to you, the little Viking, le petit Viking, Mats Naslund, born in Timrå, Sweden, 1959, October 31st. He played 3 years with Timrå. Prior, he jumped in the SEL, that's honestly the league professional in Sweden, played 4 years in Brynäs IF before he joined the Montreal Canadiens in 1982-1983. During the time he was played junior, he participated 2 times with the team Sweden at the World Junior Championship in 1977 and also in 1978. What he accomplished, guy, in NHL, he played 9 years. He won 1 time the Stanley Cup. He participated 3 times, represent the Montreal Canadiens during the All-Star game. He won, guys, the Lady Bank Trophy in 1987, 1988. At any moment during the time he played his 9th year in NHL, he never had more than 19 minutes of penalty per season. And remember, those years, guys, it was all about penalties and fight and everything like that. That was not the style of Mats Naslund. That's the reason he won 1 time the Gentleman Trophy, the Lady Bank. He became, like I mentioned earlier, the first European-born player play for the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, he returned to play in NHL after he left 4 years later with the Boston Bruins. He played 1 year with the Switzerland League, and then he played 3 years in Sweden before he returned and complete his career in NHL with the Boston Bruins. Finally, during his international career, he played, like I mentioned earlier, 2 times in the World Junior Championship. He played also on the World Hockey Champion in 1979, 1981, and 1991. He played in the Canada Cup for the Team Sweden in 1984, 1987, and 1991 also. He represented Team Sweden country during the Winter Olympic in 1980 and 1994 where he won the gold medal. He called the triple gold cup medal. What happened? What is the triple gold cup? Is the guy won the Stanley Cup, the World Hockey Championship in the Olympic winter, the medal gold, and finally he became the general manager 1 year for the represent the Team Sweden in 2006 Olympics, and that year the Team Sweden won the gold medal. Look, this complete another great video of the Hockey Nation Live show for the NHL Player Flashback series. Today it was Mats Naslund, but again you can see what Naslund did in the NHL. He was not the big guy with it. He was a really small player, but he found a way to play at a higher level in NHL against the giant. Everybody was almost like bigger and stronger to him, but the skill and the talent that Mats Naslund have during those years was unbelievable. And like I mentioned earlier, Mats Naslund was my idol because I'm not a big guy. I'm almost the same size like Mats Naslund. And for me, watching him again, the big guy, was unbelievable, like I mentioned earlier. And of course, Mats Naslund was played for the Montreal Canadiens. Before we leave, we want to remind you, of course, you have greatness inside of you. But if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click on the like. And of course, leave your comment. Tell me more about Mats Naslund, the number 26 with the Montreal Canadiens. And I wish you an amazing, great day. I look forward to see you for the next video of the NHL Players Flashback Series. Bonne journée, mes amis. On se revoit plus tard pour une autre vidéo de la série s'appelle The NHL Player Flashback with l'entraîneur Coach Frenchy.